AskReddit by deleted. What celebrity disappeared out of nowhere? Lubika. Still working on Mambo number 6. Jet Li. He had an illness, I think. He recovered but looks 20 years older than he is. Still a great guy. Jason Lee. My name is Earl. Deleted. Meg White from the White Stripes. Jack White has his own label and is successful with his own music. When asked about Meg, he said she doesn't really enjoy publicity. She also had wicked stage fright when performing. She literally made amazing music, made a fortune, then out of the limelight to live peacefully in her castle. Iconic. She released an album in 2015 that did quite well. It seems she's working on a new album now as well. Tom from MySpace was everyone's best friend at one point. He sold MySpace for a decent sum and is now using that money to travel the world and take pictures. Josh Hartnett. He was really big after Pearl Harbor. I enjoyed Lucky Number 11 with Bruce Willis. This movie had a great cast all round. Mina Sovery. The girl from the American Pie and American Beauty movies, and Teenage Dirtbag video. She went through a lot of sexual abuse when she became famous, and released a book about it all last year. Recent sexual abuse acting and American Beauty CMP equals Share Sap Other. Chris Tucker. I think he's on the record that he made so much money doing Rush Hour 1, 2, 3 that he basically said fuck it and retired. Nelly Furtado. She had her daughter enrolled in ice skating classes at the rink I worked at in the early mid 2000s. She's just been living a normal life, it seems. Lily Sobieski. She was popular in the 90s and early 2000s. Lily Sobieski just evolved into Helen Hunt. Eliza Dushku. Apparently she reported harassment and was dropped from the show soon after and hasn't worked since. She got a $9.5 million settlement due to what happened on Bull. After that she took a break from acting and went to college. She got a BA in psychology and is now working on her master's. Rick Moranis. After his wife died, he dropped everything so that he could focus on raising his children. I respect that. Misha Barton was in the OC and the Zeros Then Nothing. If I remember correctly, being famous messed with her head, so she deliberately put the brakes on her career. Hayden Christensen before he came back to playing Obi-Wan. Drew Gooden has a video about one of HC's movies, Little Italy, https://yahoo.be/v_m7ik9nzwk. Billy Zane. He was in everything. Then he just went. Dude just hangs around LA now. I swear at some point I had so many friends that had a run-in with Billy Zane. I was like, does everyone know Billy Zane but me? JTT Jonathan Taylor Thomas. Where he at? He made a few cameos in Last Man Standing. From what I've gathered is he just likes being him and not all over the place. Being a teen heartthrob is probably stressful enough. He's probably just living off home improvement checks or something. Cameron Diaz. Just up and retired for the quiet life. She married Benji Madden from Good Charlotte and they have a daughter. She did say she has retired from acting. Chris Gaines. Released that greatest hits album and then just, like he never existed. Garth Brooks sweating nervously. Clive Owen was everywhere in the mid 2000s. Now he's hardly in anything. Children of Men is easily in my top 5 best movies ever made. It is just so good. Richard Simmons. He deserves the rest. Renee Zellweger totally fell off the face of the earth until she returned with a different face. Deleted. Will always be Thora Birch for me. Her creepy dad destroyed her career. Judge Reinhold. Dude was in pretty much everything once upon a time. Now you never see him in anything. Mock trial with J. Reinhold. https://yahoo.be/dihcyn02vvg. Aaron Eckhart. Good call. He was everywhere for a bit, not seen him in ages. Harold Holt, Australian Prime Minister that just straight up walked into the ocean one day and that was that. Dude was still Prime Minister when he did it. It is also obligatory to point out that the Australians named a swimming pool after him in his memory. Shelley Miscavige disappeared without a public trace. That entire cult is crazy. Get Wrecked has now been labeled a suppressive person. Josh Hutcherson. Maybe he didn't completely disappear because of his role as Peter in the Hunger Games. But he was such a sweetheart heartthrob. Wish his face appeared more frequently in the industry. God, you have me dying over Peter. Isn't it Peter? I haven't read the books in years, but there's no way they literally named him after bread, right? I thought that was a meme. Meg Ryan. Once I learned that Jack Wade was Meg Ryan's son, I couldn't unsee her face in his. Julia Stiles. She did all those movies in the mid-2000s and gone. She was in Dexter season 5 too. In 2010. Callista Flockhart. Married Harrison Ford and quit acting, I guess. Most of the supporting cast of Bones. Eugene Bird, Edison, does a bunch of voice acting now. He's in the Gears of War series and was just in the new Saints Row. John Francis Daly, Sweets, is working a lot behind the camera. He co-wrote Spider-Man: Homecoming and co-wrote and co-directed the upcoming Dungeons & Dragons movie. Whatever happened to Seann William Scott? I used to bartend in Nick and met a ton of celebrities over the years, and Seann William Scott was by far the nicest and most gracious of all of them by a mile. Such a cool dude. Taylor Lautner. I think he was recently on some TikTok where his fiancé was showing who her initial crush was and who she ended up with. It was Robert Pattinson. Edit, corrected spelling for fiancé. Sean Kingston. He was in a jet ski accident in 2011 or so, and was in critical condition and had to have multiple operations afterwards. Anyone else remember Disney Channel's Eric Von Detten Day? I believe his name is actually Brink. I know he retired, but Gene Hackman. Good for him. That's one of the few Hollywood retirements that stuck. Hayden Panettiere. Dewey from Malcolm in the Middle. Nobody knows if he is dead or alive. A few years back, Frankie Muniz, Malcolm, made an AMA and he was asked about a reunion show or episode, and he said he actually had the same idea and contacted the other actors, and he listed all of them with like Brian, Jane and Justin jumped on the idea. Christopher, I have to reach yet, and I also asked Eric, info, Dewey, so I got his answer. Which sounded to me like Eric said no, but it means he is alive and reachable for some people. Duffy. She was abducted and sexually assaulted, so took a lot of time off to recover from the ordeal. Pretty grim stuff. I really like her music because it's got the same 60s soul revival vibe that Amy Winehouse was also known for. Christopher Mintz-Plasse. I think he does music now. I spent the majority of my late teens and early adulthood with the nickname McLovin because I apparently looked like. I ended up growing a beard to get rid of that, and he grew one too. Dane Cook. It's like everyone said ugh, go away, so he did. His half-brother embezzled millions of dollars while working as Dane's business manager. Dane had a big gap in his work from 2008 to 2011 while all that shit went down and his brother went to jail. I think it took a toll on him. And now he's engaged to a girl 27 years younger than him. John Heder. Saw him last Friday. He's doing a Q&A tour with Efren Ramirez and John Grease, Pedro and Uncle Rico, where they answer audience questions and then watch Napoleon Dynamite with the audience. It was a great time, they seem to be happy doing it, which is all that matters. Carmen Sandiego. Seriously, where in the world is she? The Mary Jane Girls. All 5 of them. Duke Silver. Amelia Earhart. IKEA. It's like she just flew out of existence. The band Fun. The guitar player Jack Antonoff is maybe one of the most in-demand producers right now. Owl City. Not really a household name, but John LaJoy had some viral YouTube comedy songs circa 2008 to 2010 with Show Me Your Genitals, WTF Collective, and Everyday Normal Guy. He played Taco in the league for a few seasons and then just disappeared. He was in the show Last One Laughing Canada recently. He's amazing in it.